In this video, we're going to go over the BarSharp client portal. So starting at the top, you've got your drop down of all of your venues. So if you just have one venue like this here, you'll see one. But if you have multiple, they will all be here, and you can change from venue to venue by clicking on the appropriate one. Going over to the left, we're going to go over each one of these different options, the different tabs here. So under location, we're going to look at location details. This is where a lot of important information is. You've got all your basic business info here, but the location code. This is a code that you can provide to people if they're struggling to get into your game, or just if you're a manager at the venue and want to get in while you're not at the venue. So it's unnecessary 99 point something percent of the time. People who are at your venue will just use the geolocation and get in. But if you want to have somebody who's not at the venue get in, like a staff member, an owner, or if you just are having somebody at the venue who's struggling with their geolocation because your venue maybe is in a bit of a metal box or something and people's phones don't do very well with locating where they are, you can provide them with this location code. The next thing down here is game days, which you've set up during your sign up, but you can click on it and add any game days that you'd like. You can just click on them and add them to your list of days. To go with that down here, you can do favorite teams. So with the favorite teams, click on that again, you can just click on whoever your favorite teams might be. You can type something in. So it's like Texas Aggies right there. Okay, and then we can do the Longhorns. Um, and so you can pick all the different favorite teams that you have, and you can order them here by priority. So let's say the Longhorns are a priority for you over the other teams that you have. This is only for if they are running at the same time. So if they have games that overlap, let's say the Aggies and the Longhorns have a game at the same time, our system will prioritize the Longhorn game for your venue in this case because you've listed them higher in the priority here. And some things you can do to run both games is you can do allow overlapping games. So you can toggle this on, and that will allow you to run multiple games that overlap with each other. If you'd like to do that, you'll toggle that on. If you don't want that, then you'll keep that toggle off. So going back up here regarding the favorite teams, if you turn this toggle on, this will assign games for your favorite teams regardless of the day of week. So if I toggle that on and the Longhorns are playing on a Friday, let's say, then it would assign the Longhorns game for me at my venue on Friday, even though it's not a favorite game day that's here, if I have this toggled on. If I have it toggled off and the Longhorns play on a Friday, I will not receive that game assigned to my venue in the automation aspect of it. So then going down, we have the three pop-up questions as prize questions. Right now, they are called free drink questions. That will be updated. It'll be done within the next couple weeks where you will have an opportunity and you'll see it here. So if this looks a little bit different, you'll know where you can change the free drink question title to being something else. So like $5 bar tab or whatever the thing is that you're going to give away as a prize, you can you'll be able to change that and input here because I know some of you are in states that do not technically allow giving away of a free drink. But as it is now, the way that this works, either way, in the long run, it'll work the same way. But the way it works for now as a free drink is you are offering up to 3 free drinks during the game. So it's for the 3 pop-up questions that occur, the system will randomly pull one winner for each one out of the people who got each individual one correct. So for the first pop-up question, everyone who got it correct, the system will pull one of those people and send them a notification to let them know that they've won the free drink prize. It'll do the same for the next 2 pop-ups. So it's not everybody getting it that got it correct. It's just one random person of the people who got it correct. This is something I highly recommend turning on if you're willing to do it because it's another thing that keeps people engaged. Even if they are falling behind in the leaderboard or they join the game late, it gives them an opportunity to win something late into the game still. They have equal opportunity as everyone else at that point to still win one of these prizes. Now, as we go down to the other prizes, so you can award whatever you want in your prizes. It's completely up to you. Gift cards are the most common thing, gift card to your venue, but you can award whatever it is you'd like. These are free text. You can fill in whatever you want here. If you'd like to add more prizes, you can click the add button. If you want to remove any of them, you can click the little garbage can button to remove them. So you can add additional places as you'd like. And if you'd like to set minimums for number of players in order for that prize to be activated, you can do that here as well. So let's say here I wanted my second place prize only to activate once I hit 10 players. So in this case here, that would mean if there's 9 players in my game, people in the app they'll see this as available, but it will say very clearly will be unlocked once the threshold of 10 players has been met. And then so you can do the same here. Let's say we do this one at 20, and then you can put the next ones at whatever. Like it's up to you what these numbers are going to be. This is a good way to, one, make sure that if you're having a slow day and say you have 4 people playing, but you have 3 prizes listed, you probably don't want to do that. So if that's the case, this makes it so that you're not going to have to award these other prizes, and the players will know that because it will show it in the app that they're not available unless these thresholds are met. But it's a good way that, let's say that you had 8 players going or you had 18 players going, it will maybe entice people to tell their neighbors about it and get them to play, and then that'll get those people to stick around and play the game because it increases the number of prizes for everybody to win. After you make any changes on this page here, you're going to want to click the save button that's right up here before you go away from the page. So going over to the next thing, the location leaderboard here. So you have your leaderboard, a weekly leaderboard that shows you how people at your venue are doing. So you can scroll through all the people at your venue. You can go back to previous weeks here. And then we have the monthly one over here. I'm doing this right at the start of October, so nothing has actually happened yet at this venue. So it said there's nothing available, but there normally would be. And you can go back to previous months and look at previous leaderboards. Going over to the games section. So this is important to understand how this works and what is assigned at your venue. Active game. Active game means that there is a game that is open at your venue for people to join. This happens approximately 75 minutes before the start of the actual game that you're running. So if a game is active for people to join, it will show up here. I'm doing this video in the morning on a weekday, so there's nothing currently happening for anybody to join. The next one here is upcoming games. This is the list of games that are assigned to your venue currently, that are upcoming games assigned to your venue. So you'll see them in a list here. If you have anyone that you don't want, you can click on it and you can go to the top here, remove this game from my location, and you would click yes if you want to remove it from your location. If there's a game that was assigned that you just say, hey, we don't want to do that one. Then you can see past games over here, which is just any previous games run at your location. You can click into the game, see what happened with all of the questions and the results, and you can look at the game leaderboard here and see all the people that were playing at the venue for that. And then so you can see what the prizes, who won the prizes, and so on. If we go to join new games, this is the list of upcoming games in the system that are not assigned to your venue. So this is the upcoming games is assigned to your venue. Join new games is not assigned to your venue. So if you find a game in here that you'd like to add to your venue, you can click on any one of those cards, and then you'll see, just like you saw with remove, if it was in your list. For the ones that are not in your list, you have an add this game to your location. So you click on that and click yes to add to your location. If you would like to add that there, it'll then, once you click yes, it'll go over to your upcoming games and you'll see it in that section and it will be assigned to you when it's ready to activate. If you are trying to find games in here, you can go through the filter and look through all the different stuff to see if you're looking for certain games in there, and you can add them to your location. So if there's a game that you're looking for, if you don't see it in the upcoming games or the join new games section, that means that we don't have it in the system yet. So this could be a college football game a specific one that we didn't have in there, or a soccer game, or whatever the game is that we don't have in the system yet. You can go to request game here. The one thing I will note before doing that is look at whatever the furthest out date is, and if requesting a game that's maybe this says like my furthest out is in October 20th. So if you're requesting a game that's in November or something, there, we won't have it in the system. You can know that it's just not in the system yet if we don't have other ones for that date that are there yet. We just typically schedule things about 2 weeks out, maybe up to 2 to 3 weeks is what's typical for scheduling. But so if you're trying to schedule something for 6 weeks out, it's not there yet. And you don't need to do a request game at this point because there's a chance that we will just add it anyway. But let's say it is within that window, you can go to request game and you can pick the info for the game that you're wanting to do. So let's say it was a college football game, and it was Minnesota and Arkansas or whatever the teams were that you're looking for. You fill in the game days and time right here. If it was a team that was not in the list of what we have for that sport, then you can just turn the toggle on if for the home or away team, depending on which they are, and now it's just a free text field. So you can fill in whatever the team name is, and then we'll get that team added to the system and add that game for you. When you submit a request game, we ask that you do it with 48 hours notice if possible, so that it gives us time to create the game and to staff the game, as in having somebody who's operating that game and scoring it when it's run. The next thing over here is the location users. So anybody who is assigned to have access to the client portal for your venue will show up here. When you click on them, you can see that they'll have a referral code. I can change that code. You set it up initially when you do it, but you can change it as you'd like. This is numbers here, but let's say I just want to change it to my name. I can change my name and click save, and you can have whatever your user role is. So my user role is location manager. That is the standard role for anybody that first gets assigned to the venue. If you want to offer different roles, you can come over to the access roles section, click create role, and let's say you just wanted to give it to your bartender or your somebody else just to view which games are upcoming so they know the schedule. So then you could just do view games and create a permission around just being able to view games. So you'd name it over here and you save that. And then that way, when you go to add new users and click new user, you'll fill in the email, and then on the next screen, you'll fill in the role and their name and their code as well on that screen. So you can add as many people as you'd like as location users. The last section here is the referral section. So this is only necessary if you are looking to track who at your venue is promoting this and getting people to download the app. So if you go to personal referrals here, that's going to be for anyone that the user that's logged in here, has referred. So you're not seeing anything here because this user hasn't referred anything here. But this would show a list of the people that have been referred to download the app here. The way that it works is they use that referral code that we saw on the location users section. So the one that I changed to Garrett, for example, they'd be using that code when they sign up. So when your player at your venue signs up, right after they sign in themselves, it'll ask if they had a referral code. If they do, that's where they'd fill in Garrett or whatever their referral code is in that spot. And then when they sign in, you'd see them as a personal referral here. The location referrals one, also not seeing anything here because this location hasn't done referrals, but in this case, you'd see again for everybody at your location, who are all the people that they referred. The location leaderboard, again, also going to be empty. This is instead of the user by user list, this is just how many people have each of your client users referred. So if you have all your different staff as different client users in here, it'll just give a tally of how many they have each referred. And then the last one will be global, which is for all venues. If you check that, you can see all venues and how many people each one has referred at their specific venue. So that's a full rundown of everything here in the client portal. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.